scared of me, I'm Candyman. Wristbands, I'm fancy, man. Well known like the anchor man. Bitch in some danger, man. Walking to the plate, I look at coach, he say he hanging them. Tough as nails, I'm made of them. Big bag, amazing.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Leadoff, your new daily baseball news and highlight show. I'm your host, Dawson Wright, and let's go ahead and get into our first story out of Anaheim, California, as we have some breaking news. On Friday, it was announced that Shohei Ohtani was on the DL with a grade 2 UCL sprain, and on Thursday, he had received stem cell and plasma injections. But it has now been reported by ESPN's Pedro Gomez that Shohei Ohtani will now need Tommy John surgery, which means Ohtani will be out for the rest of the season, and he might be out for all of 2019 as well, which means we may not see Shohei Ohtani play again until the start of the 2020 season. This is devastating news for Major League Baseball, as Shohei Ohtani was one of the leading stories throughout the year. And for the Angels, this could completely take them out of the run for any sort of playoff spot. They are currently 4.5 games back, and I don't really see how they could compete. With Shohei Ohtani gone, you don't only lose one of the best pitchers on your team, but you lose one of the best bats as well, because Shohei won't hit while he's injured. Add on Calhoun and Simmons on the DL, and it doesn't look very good for the Angels. For our next story of the day, starting pitcher Matt Latos is in the news. Matt Latos hasn't started in the MLB since last year when he made 3 starts with the Blue Jays, but he has now found his way in an independent league. And on Saturday, while pitching an independent league game, Latos started a benches clearing brawl. The opposing team scored off Latos, and then there was a collision at the plate that left Latos' catcher, Kevin Torres, laying on the dirt, which caused the benches to clear. But no real fight started, and everyone went back to their dugouts. Latos apparently thought it wasn't over yet, as he threw inside to the next batter with no response. Latos then threw over his head, and I'm just going to let you guys watch. And for our last main story of the day, Blue Jays prospect Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will miss 4 weeks due to a right knee injury. Guerrero is MLB's number 2 prospect, and so far he is having one of the best AA seasons ever. But it still looks like it might be a while before he gets called up to the majors, even with or without the injury. Vlad will likely have to spend 11 more months in the minors because the Blue Jays want to have an extra year of control before he hits free agency. Well, those are all the stories from yesterday. Now let's get into the highlights from Sunday's action. The White Sox defeated the Red Sox yesterday in Fenway as Lopez went 6 1/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs to the Red Sox, while Porcello gave up 3 runs and was given the loss as the White Sox win the series. The Blue Jays destroyed the Orioles yesterday, scoring 6 runs in the 4th and 4 runs in the 5th. Add on a good start by Blue Jays pitcher Marco Estrada, who went 6 innings and gave up 3 runs as the Blue Jays win 13-3. The Indians and the Tigers finished up their series in Detroit yesterday with Corey Kluber on the mound for the Indians, who was dominant, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits in 8 innings. Melky Cabrera went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs as the Indians win 9-2. And one of the big stories yesterday was Padres pitcher Clayton Richard, who pitched 6 2/3 hitless innings against the Marlins and finished with a line of 7 innings on 2 hits, giving up 1 run, as the Padres beat the Marlins 3-1. Next up, Mariners and Rays at the Trop. The Rays took a 3-run lead in the 4th, but the Mariners then tied it after a 2-run homer by Mike Zunino, which was followed the next inning by a 2-run homer from Kyle Seager, and the Mariners win 5-4. A bad start from Carlos Martinez was enough for the Reds on Sunday afternoon, as Martinez finished with a line of 3.2 innings pitched, giving up 5 runs on 7 walks, as the Reds win 6-3. Bottom of the 5th in Philadelphia, game tied at 2, Hoskins up with the bases loaded. He gets a sac fly and his second RBI of the day, and the Phillies take a 3-2 lead, and they would go on to win by a score of 4-3 as they snapped their 4-game losing streak. After a bad start from Angels pitcher Nick Tapiano, the Angels were not able to recover, as after a 3-run 5th and 3 RBI day by center fielder Jake Cave, the Twins go on to win 7-5. After a quality start from Kyle Hendricks, Brian Dunson came in to pitch, and he got out 1 batter and gave up 4 runs before he was taken out of the game. And that's all the Pirates would need, as Nova gave up 1 run in 5.2 innings, and the Pirates would go on to win 7-1. First pitch in Arlington as George Springer goes deep and hits his 5th leadoff homer of the season. Later in that game, Guzman slaps one the other way, and we are all tied at 6 after the Rangers were down 6-0. Gurriel up in the top of the 7th, that's a solo homer, and the Astros tape back the lead. Top 9 now, game tied, runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Gas doesn't swing on that pitch, then AJ Hinch comes out and says that the pitcher balked. The umpires meet, and it is ruled a balk, and the run scores from 3rd, and the Astros win 8-7, and that's their 5th win in a row. The Diamondbacks steamrolled the Rockies yesterday after a 3 RBI day from Ketel Marte, and a decent start from Zach Godley as the Diamondbacks win 8-3. Top 8, game tied at 2 in Oakland, Simeon guns down Merrifield, and the game remains tied. Bottom 8, Matt Chapman hits his 10th homer of the year, and the A's go on to win 3-2. Giants and Nationals going at it in the nation's capital. Brandon Crawford was the story of this game as he finished a triple shy of the cycle and hit his 2-run homer off of Matt Scherzer, and the Giants would go on to win 2-0. Sean Newcomb on the mound for the Braves, as it would not be his night. He went 5.1 innings and gave up 7 hits on 5 runs to the Dodgers, who would go on to win 7-2. Sunday night game of the week, Yankees versus Mets. Nimmo makes a great catch to start off the game. Mets pitcher Seth Lugo went 6 innings, giving up 2 hits on no runs. Bottom 5, Todd Frazier up to bat. He hits a 2-run homer to left, and the Mets go on to win 2-0, avoiding the sweep. That's going to wrap up all of yesterday's action. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And today's question of the day is, are the Angels still contenders without Shohei Ohtani? Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will highlight some of the answers in tomorrow's video. For those of you who are watching this video on my channel, be sure to subscribe to the Pinch Runners YouTube channel, as the rest of the shows will be on their channel. I might post like one of these a week on my channel. So if you want to see the rest of these throughout the season, subscribe to the Pinch Runners channel. The link will be in the description. But thank you guys who made it to the end, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode.